It is true that we have to change our behavior in showing the Muslim world greater respect. And changing our language and changing our tone. It is true that we have to work very hard for Israeli-Palestinian peace. But what is also true is that these organizations are willing to kill innocent people because of a twisted, distorted ideology. And we, as democracies and as people who value human life, can't allow those organizations to operate. So here's the bottom line. The United States has reviewed and redesigned its approach to Afghanistan. We believe that we cannot just win militarily. We have to win through development aid. We have to win through increasing the capacity of the Afghan government. To provide basic services to its people and to uphold rule of law. We have to work with the Pakistani government so that they are more trusted by their population and have more control so that they can then go help us go after these terrorists. We have to encourage diplomacy in the region. So it can't just be a military strategy and we will be in partnership. With Europe on the development side and on the diplomatic side. But there will be a military component to it. And Europe should not simply expect the United States to shoulder that burden alone. We should not, because this is a joint problem and it requires joint effort. One last point I will make. In dealing with terrorism, we can't lose sight of our values and who we are. That's why I closed. Guantanamo. That's why I made very clear that we will not engage in certain interrogation practices. I don't believe that there is a contradiction between our security and our values. And when you start sacrificing your values, when you lose yourself, then over the long term that will make you less secure. When we saw what happened in Abu Ghraib, that wasn't good for our security, that was a recruitment tool for terrorism. Humiliating people is never a good strategy to battle terrorism. So we are going to conduct our operations in a way that reflect our best selves and make sure that we are proud. And that, in turn, will allow the Europeans, I think, to feel good about our joint efforts. And also not to have excuses not to participate in those joint efforts. All right? Okay, last question. All right, let me see here. All right, that young lady in the red right there, right there. She had all her friends helping her out. Q, thank you. Hi, I'm Enes Autophonetic from Heidelberg. And I'm totally European. And first of all, I wanted to tell you that your name in Hungarian means peach. President Obama, peach. Q, yes. President Obama, oh, okay. Well, how about that? I did not know that. Q, yes, now you know it. And we wanted to know if you ever regret to have run for presidency till now. I mean, well, did you ever ask yourself, am I sure to manage? Yes. President Obama, yes, it's a good question. Michelle definitely asked that question. You know, there have been times, certainly, during the campaign. And there have been times over the last several months where you feel a lot of weight on your shoulders. There's no doubt about it. During the campaign, the biggest sacrifice, the thing that was most difficult was that I was away from my family all the time. In addition to missing, in addition to being jealous about high-speed rail and the nice trains here. I'm also jealous of the fact that campaigns here only last a few months. Whereas in the United States we were running for 2 years. So I was away from home all the time, and that was very difficult because not only do I have a wonderful wife, but I have two perfect daughters. And so, you know, I miss them a lot. But the nice thing is now that I'm president, it turns out I have this really nice office in my house called the Oval Office. And so it only takes me a few seconds to get upstairs, and I'm home for dinner every night. You also lose privacy and autonomy or anonymity. You know, it's very frustrating now. It used to be when I came to Europe. That I could just wander down to a cafe and sit and have some wine and watch people go by, and go into a little shop, and watch the sun go down. Now I'm in hotel rooms all the time and I have security around me all the time. And so just, you know, losing that ability to just take a walk, That is something that is frustrating. But having said all that, I truly believe that there's nothing more noble than public service. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to run for president. You know, you might work for Doctors Without Borders. Or you might volunteer for or you might be somebody working for the United Nations. Or you might be the mayor of Strasbourg. Right? I mean, they're all you might volunteer in your own community. But the point is that what I found at a very young age was that if you only think about yourself, how much money can I make, what can I buy, how nice is my house? What kind of fancy car do I have? That over the long term I think you get bored. I think your life becomes, I think if you're only thinking about yourself, your life becomes diminished. And that the way to live a full life is to think about, what can I do for others? How can I be a part of this larger project of making a better world? Now, that could be something as simple as making as the joy of taking care of your family and watching your children grow and succeed. But I think especially for the young people here, I hope you also consider other ways that you can serve. Because the world has so many challenges right now, there's so many opportunities to make a difference. And it would be a tragedy if all of you who are so talented and energetic if you let that go to waste, if you just stood back and watched the world pass you by. Better to jump in, get involved. and it does mean that sometimes you'll get criticized and sometimes you'll fail and sometimes you'll be disappointed. But you'll have a great adventure. And at the end of your life hopefully you'll be able to look back and say, I made a difference. All right. Thank you, everybody. Barack Obama. Student Aid Bill of Rights announcement. Delivered March 10, 2015, Georgia Institute of Technology, Atlanta, Georgia. Let's give it up for Buzz and the Georgia Tech Band for getting us fired up. Also give it up for Governor Nathan Deal, who is here. Congressman Hank Johnson and David Scott. Atlanta Mayor Qasim Reed. And the president of this great institution. Georgia Tech, Bud Peterson. That's good. You've got a high approval rating. You do. Absolutely. We also have a special guest with us. This is a proud Georgia Tech alum. Who just happens also to be the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Admiral Sandy Winfeld is here. Where's Sandy? There he is. Before he was the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, he was a Navy fighter pilot. Which is cooler? Now he just goes to meetings. What's up with that? I told him he's got to get back on a plane. It is great to be at one of the finest technical institutes in the world. That's a Georgia Tech reference that some of you may not know. I also know that Georgia Tech is terrific because we've actually worked with you on several fronts from promoting Advanced manufacturing to unlocking the mysteries of the brain to helping more students become entrepreneurs. And the reason I wanted to come here today is because I believe that higher education as you believe, is one of the best investments that anybody can make in their future. And it's also one of the best investments you can make in our country's future. So I'm here to say thank you and to tell you I'm proud of you, because I know that it's not always easy. To do what you're doing. It takes perseverance. A lot of late nights in the library and the lab. And you're wrapping your minds around complex formulas and concepts that, frankly, I don't understand. But I know they're complex. And some of you are holding jobs down at the same time, which makes it even harder. But as frustrating as it may be, and Tiffany expressed some frustrations on occasion, it is worth it. Higher education has never been more important. And the message I want to deliver today, not just to you but to the entire country. Is the entire nation has to treat it as a priority. Right now, our economy is growing steadily. It's creating new jobs. You're going to be going into a job market that's much better than the one that existed when I came into office 6 years ago. After the worst economic crisis of our lifetimes, over the past 5 years. Our businesses have now created 12 million new jobs. Unemployment continues to come down, and obviously that's good news for those of you who are graduating soon. Yes. That's right, you want a job. Your parents also want you to have a job. They don't want you on the couch.